Why should Henry have a new shape, he grumbled. A shape good enough for me is good enough for him. He goes gallivanting off to Crewe, leaving us to do his work, and comes back saying how happy he feels. It's disgraceful. And there's another thing. Henry whistles too much. No respectable engine ever whistles loudly at stations. It isn't wrong, but we just don't do it. Poor Henry didn't feel happy anymore. Never mind, whispered Percy. I'm glad you're home again. I like your whistling. Goodbye, Henry, called Gordon. We're glad to have you with us again, but remember what I said. Later, Henry stopped at Edward's station.
He stopped there too.
Hello, Henry, said Edward. It's splendid. I was pleased to hear your happy whistle yesterday.
Butterfly King. Oh, did Gordon. We saw a butterfly.
One night, Henry and Gordon were alone with James. Although Sir Topham Hatt was beginning to think well of him, whenever a chance came, the other engines would talk of nothing but bootlaces. Remember when they had to use a bootlace to get you out of trouble, James? They would tease. James tried to get back by talking about Henry, who got shot up in the tunnel, and Gordon, who got stuck on a hill. They wouldn't listen. You talk too much, little James, said Gordon. A fine, strong engine like me has something to talk about. I'm the only engine who can pull the express. When I'm not there, they need two engines. Think of that. I've pulled expresses for years and have never once lost my way. I seem to know the right line by instinct.
Was that damn shed?
Every wise engine knows, of course, that the signalman sets the switches to make the engines run on the right tracks. But Gordon was so proud he had forgotten.
I am so proud too, Gordon, said Thomas. Me and Clarabelle were there. We are here sitting on your
Wake up, James, said Gordon next morning. It's nearly time for the express. What are you doing? Odd jobs? Oh, well, we all have to begin somewhere, don't we? Run along now and get my coaches. Don't be late. James went to get Gordon's coaches. They were all shining with lovely new paint. He was careful not to bump them, and they followed him smoothly into the station, singing happily, "We're going away, we're going away." I wish I was going with you, said James.
I would have loved to go to the express and go driving along the line.
Gordon, with much noise and blowing of steam, got ready to back onto the train.
We're riding Gordon.
Sir Topham Hatt was on the train with other important people, and as soon as they heard the conductor's whistle, Gordon started. Look at me now, he puffed, and the coaches glided after him. Poop, 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 poop. Goodbye, little James. See you tomorrow.
Next time.
James watched the train disappear and then went back to work. He pushed some freight cars into their proper sidings and went to fetch the coaches for another train.
Jesus, here said the freight
James had
cars.
just brought the coaches to the platform when he heard a
You
mournful
heard it
noise.
too.
There was Gordon trying to sneak into the station without being noticed. Hello, Gordon. Is it tomorrow? Asked James. Gordon didn't answer. He just let off steam feebly.
This was near Clarabelle up and the crash. It's no normal fruitful coaches in Thomas. Our faithful coaches in and in Clarabelle. Hi, sir, said Thomas. Shouted Thomas. Butterfly was taking a flight into the sky. Yes, sir, excuse me, sir, said Thomas. Shouted Henry. Thomas saw the rabbits. Thomas saw a butterfly.
Did you lose your way, Gordon? Said James. No, it was lost for me. I was switched off the main line onto the loop. I had to go all round and back again. Perhaps it was instinct, said James. Meanwhile, all the passengers hurried to the ticket window. We want our money back, they shouted. But Sir Topham Hatt climbed onto a cart and blew the conductor's whistle so loudly that they all stopped to look at him. Then he promised them a new train at once. Gordon can't do it, he said. Will you pull it for us, James?
Yes, sir, excuse me,
Yes,
sir.
sir, I'll try. So James was coupled on and everyone got in. Do your best, James, said Sir Topham Hatt.
Nice try, shouted Sir Topham Hatt.
Come along, Puff James. You're pulling us well, you're pulling us well, sang the coaches.
Gasped James.
bridges and stations flashed by, the passengers cheered, and they soon reached the station.
Everyone said
Everyone said
thank you,
thank you
James, to him.
and Sir Topham Hatt, very impressed. Well done, he said. Would you like to pull the express sometimes? Yes, please, answered James.
Annie and Clarabelle up and down the branch. Annie and Clarabelle here, shouted Percy. Shouted Gordon.
God. Next morning, Henry was enjoying himself enormously. I feel so well, I feel so well, he sang. Trickety-tock, off in his coaches. Then he saw some boys on a bridge. Peep, peep, hello, he whistled. Oh, he called. The boys didn't wave and take his number. They thought it fun to drop stones on him instead. They've broken our glass. They've broken our glass, sobbed the coaches. The passengers weren't hurt, but they were cross. Call the police. No, said the driver. Leave it to Henry and me. What will you do, they asked. Can you keep a secret? Yes, yes. Well then, said the driver. Henry is going to sneeze at those boys. Lots of people were waiting at the station just before the bridge. They wanted to see what would happen.
Gordon went indoors too. Gordon saw knew.
Gordon was cross. Why should... Waiting at the station just before the bridge, they wanted to see what would happen. Henry has plenty of ashes, said the driver. Please keep all windows shut till we have passed the bridge. Henry is as excited as we are, aren't you, old fellow? Henry was feeling stuffed up. Soon they could see the boys, and they all had stones. Are you ready, Henry, said his driver. Sneeze hard when I tell you. Now, he said. And two shoot. Well done, Henry, laughed his driver.
Was leading the express. Riding Gordon. Top of Hat was riding Gordon too. I am holding the express. Ghost Gordon. Gordon reached the station. Everyone said, "Thank you, Gordon." To him.